Hello students, welcome back for today's e-learning session of Standard 5 subject Social Science, and today we are going to start a second chapter, Maps. So students, what is the map? It is the representation of the earth which is different from globe. What is the difference between both of them? Both are the representation of the earth only. But there are some differences, like globe is a spherical representation of the earth, but map represents the earth on a flat surface, which can be a piece of paper or a cloth. Today we are going to discuss the following points: the globe and maps. What is a map? Types of maps, elements of map. So students, on account of 5, open your textbook. Canopy, Social Science section, page number 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Z-E-R-O 0. I hope you have opened the page. So now let's read it. The globe and maps. We have seen that the globe is a small model of the earth. It is the most accurate way of looking at the size, shape, and location of places on the earth. However, it has several shortcomings. It is difficult to carry a globe around. It is not possible to see all the parts of the earth's surface at the same time. It cannot show detailed information. To get detailed information, we will have to make huge globes. They will be difficult to make and read. To avoid these problems, we normally use maps instead of globe. Students, did you know the science of making maps is called cartography? Some of the oldest maps made by humans are more than 8,000 years old. So students, what we have learned in this paragraph, that globe is a small model of the earth, but it is having some limitations, like it is difficult to carry it. Again, we can't see all the parts of the earth on the globe at the same time. For it, we have to turn it around and around. It cannot show us the detailed information such as the climatic conditions, the resources, minerals which are available on that continent. It doesn't show all these things. So, we are not getting detailed information. And for getting it, we have to make huge globes, which will be difficult to make and read. Also, again, it will be costly to purchase it. So, maps is the answer for all these shortcomings of the globe. So, here are the limitations of the globe that we have gone through. Difficult to carry. Impossible to see all the parts of the earth at a time. It can't show detailed information. Huge globes are required for detailed information, which is expensive too. Now, what is a map? A map is a drawing of the earth's surface or a part of it on a flat surface such as a sheet of paper. But you cannot flatten out the earth's surface and show it accurately. So, there are some errors in shapes and sizes of land masses in maps. People who make maps try to minimize these errors. So students, map is nothing but a drawing of our earth's surface on a flat piece of paper. It can be a drawing of full earth or a part of it, say a continent, a country, or a city. But as the earth's surface is spherical, right? But we cannot flatten it. So there can be a chance of errors in the shape or size of the place on the map. Though people who are making the maps try themselves for minimizing their errors. So what are the maps? It is the solution to all the shortcomings of globe. It is a drawing of Earth's surface or a part of it. It is drawn on a flat surface which can be drawn to show the whole world, a continent, a country, a city, and so on. It can be made of larger size. It can be rolled up or folded, easy to carry and cheap as compared to globe. Students, did you know that Claudius Ptolemy was a Greek mathematician and geographer who lived in Egypt more than 2000 years ago? He created several maps of the world. So who was Claudius Ptolemy? He was a Greek mathematician, geographer who created several maps of the world. Different types of maps. Maps can be drawn to show the whole world, a single continent, a country, a city, your neighborhood, and even your school. They can be drawn in any size. The larger the area covered by a map, the more will be the errors in it. A map of your neighborhood can be drawn accurately as it covers a small area, but a map of India or a map of the world will have errors because they cover very large areas. So students, it can be drawn to show the whole world on a single paper, or we can indicate a single continent on a map, a country, a city, or say your neighborhood, like your school's map is there, your building's map, and so on. They can be drawn in any size. The larger the area covered by a map, there are more chances of error to occur. Say a map of your school may be correct, but if we are going to represent a map of the world or the country, we have to cover larger area in a smaller scale. So there are greater chances of errors to occur. The map of the world shown on page number 12 of this book is drawn on less than half a page. A wall map of the world can be several times its size and shows many more details. It can be easily rolled up or folded and carried. So as we are having the picture of map and page number 12, it is the map of world. So there are more chances of error. But if we prefer wall map of the world, which is too huge, so there are less chances of error. A book of maps is called an atlas. Turn the pages of your atlas and look at the different maps in it. You will find that there are several types of maps in it. So students, there are some book of maps which are called as atlas. It shows us maps of different states, different regions, different continents and countries. So atlas is nothing but a book of maps. Some of these are follows: maps showing boundaries of the countries and states, and the important cities known as political maps. Maps showing natural features of the land such as mountains, rivers and plains are known as physical maps. Maps showing crop grown or minerals found in various places. Maps showing rainfall in different areas. Maps showing roads, railway and airline routes. So students, there are many kind of maps. Some of them are political maps, which shows us the boundaries of the countries, states and cities. Then there are physical maps, which shows us the natural features of the land, such as the mountains, rivers, plains and so on. There are certain maps showing the crops or minerals found in that places. Maps indicating the rainfall and climate in different areas, and map showing us the routes of railways, roadways and airlines. So these are the points that we have discussed in types of maps. Political maps indicating boundaries of states, countries, cities and so on. Physical map indicates natural features. Maps showing crops grown or minerals found. Maps showing rainfall in different areas. Maps showing roads, railways and airline routes. Elements of a map. There are certain elements in the map for making our study easier. So, maps consist of certain elements. Some of them are directions, scale, color, and symbols. These elements are used to give us different bits of information about the map and the area it covers. Once we understand these elements, we will be able to use the map better. So there are certain elements like directions, scale, color and symbols. We need to know all these elements and understand them so that we can easily read the map. Directions, which is the first element of the map. One of the most important elements of a map is direction. There are, as you know, 4 cardinal directions: north, south, east and west. Usually, maps are drawn with north at the top. Most maps indicate north with an arrow marked N. If you know where north lies, it is easy to find south, east and west. If north is at the top, then south is at the bottom. East is to the right and west to the left. North lies between north and east. Northwest between north and west. Southeast between south and east, and southwest between south and west. So as you can see in the figure. So directions is one of the important element in maps. If we know one direction, we can find another easily. So there are 4 cardinal directions: north, south, east and west. Maps are drawn with north at the top. Most maps indicate north with an arrow marked N. So students, north is always at the top of the map. If we know where the north is, we can easily find south at its opposite direction. East to the right and west to the left. Northeast lies between north and east, whereas southeast lies between east and south. Southwest lies between south and west, and northwest occur between north and west. Scale, it is the second most important element. So a map rarely shows the actual distances between places. Distances are shrunk so that area being mapped can be fitted on a piece of paper. To be able to do this accurately, maps are drawn to a scale. The scale of a map is the ratio between distance shown on the map and actual distance on the ground. For example, the actual distance between 2 cities may be 100 kilometers, but On the map, it may be shown as 1 centimeter. Then the scale of a map is 1 centimeter is to 100 kilometers. On such a map, an actual distance of 500 kilometers will be shown as 5 centimeters and a distance of 50 kilometers as half centimeter, because 1 centimeter is equals to 100 kilometers. The scale of a map is often shown as a line with distances marked on it. The scale of 1 centimeter is 200 kilometers is shown here in this way. As you can see here, this is called a linear scale. Each division in the bar is 1 centimeter measured on the map and indicates 100 kilometers, as shown in numbers just above the bar on the ground. So students, what is the scale? It is a ratio between distance shown on the map and the actual distance on the ground. It is often shown as a line with distances marked on it. And students, here you can see this is an example of linear scale. Colors. Certain standard colors are used in maps to show features such as oceans, seas, mountains, plains, deserts, etc. Water bodies. Water bodies are always shown in blue. Deep blue shows deep waters and light blue shows shallow waters. Mountains and highlands are shown in brown and yellow. Dark brown shows high mountains, light brown shows lower mountains and hills. Yellow shows plateaus. Plains and lowlands are shown in green. So there are certain standard colors which are used in maps to show features such as seas, mountains, plains, deserts and so on. Blue color shows water bodies. Brown color shows mountains and hills. Yellow color represents plateaus, whereas green color shows the plains. Symbols. Again, it is one of the important element of the map. To make it easier to show features and places on a map, certain standard symbols are used in maps. A symbol is a shape or sign that is used to represent something. For example, to show a church on a map, we can just put a cross at that spot instead of writing the word church there. Symbols make it easier to read and understand maps. Once we are familiar with these, understanding a map becomes easier. So students, what are the symbols? Symbols are the signs or shapes which we use to spot or represent something on the map. For this, we are not required to write whether this is the church or the hospital. We just have to put a mark on the map. Given below are some of the standard symbols used in maps. Like this symbol is for boundary between countries. The symbol given here is for the sea route. This symbol indicates boundary between states. This is the symbol of capital of country. National highway. PO stands for post office. Simple line is for other roads. PS stands for police station. Railway line, bridge, and this zigzag indicates river. So symbols are nothing but a shape or sign used to represent something on a map. And these are the symbols that we have gone through just now. Students, here I would like to make your understanding better. For this purpose, I am going to switch to extra marks. Let's see what it says about the map.
Social science. Maps. What is a map? A map is a drawing of the whole or a part of the geographical area of the Earth's surface on a flat piece of paper. The word map has been derived from the Latin word mappo, which means a napkin. In olden days, most of these maps were drawn on animal skin or cloth. An accurate map should have at least three qualities: true directions between places, true shape of land and water bodies, true and accurate areas. Maps are more useful than a globe in certain ways. Maps can be folded and carried anywhere easily. Different types of maps can give detailed information which is not possible on a small globe. They allow us to see several areas of the surface at once and compare sizes and distances. A map can be scaled, so we can see as many details as we want. Hence, it is preferred to use a map over a globe. A book of maps is called an atlas. Maps can be very useful as they can be used for gaining a variety of information, such as political boundaries, relief features, climatic conditions, distribution of crops, minerals and industries, distribution of population, and many others. Let us briefly discuss a few types of maps: physical maps, political maps, road maps, climate maps. Physical maps display various physical features like mountains, plateaus, rivers, lakes, oceans, etc. Political maps display the political boundaries of different countries, their capitals along with other states and places in that country. Road maps display major roads, highways, airports, cities, etc., giving people the correct directions while driving. They also help people to plan road trips. Map that shows the geographic distribution of average values of climatic variables, that is, temperature, precipitation, relative humidity, etc., are known as climatic maps. Different colors are used to indicate different climatic zones. Did you know? The art and science of map making is called cartography, and a person who makes maps is called a cartographer. A map has a set standard set of colors which are used to display certain specific features. Let's understand the use of these colors one by one. Blue. Blue color indicates rivers, ponds, well, seas and oceans, in which deep blue shows deep waters and light blue shows the shallow waters. Green. Green color indicates lowlands and plains. Brown. Brown color indicates mountains and hills, in which dark brown highlights the higher mountains, whereas light brown is used for the lower mountains and hills. Yellow. Yellow indicates the plateaus, urban as well as agricultural land. Also, there are standard signs and symbols which display certain features on a map. Once we are familiar with these symbols, understanding a map becomes much easier for us. Features like places of worship, forts, monuments, library, rivers, bridges, lakes, etc. all have different symbols. Have you ever noticed the legends or keys given in a box at the corner of a map? They explain what the colors and symbols used on a map signify. It is usually specified on every map. For example, boundaries, roads, railway lines, rivers, grass, countries and capitals, etc. Sometimes, we might find lines drawn on a map to form squares. These are called grids. These grids help us to locate any place easily on a map. It is very important to identify the correct direction on a map, as every map has 4 major directions which are shown using arrow marks. The top arrow shows the north direction and is denoted by using the symbol N. South lies at the bottom, east is to right, and west to the left, in which the northeast lies between north and east. Southeast lies between south and east. Southwest is the middle of south and west, and northwest is between north and west. Maps are smaller than the areas they represent, so it is not possible to show the actual distance between two places on a map. That's why size and distance between places on a map are shown by a scale. A scale is the ratio between a distance measured on a map and the corresponding distance on the earth. Let's take an example to make it more clear. On the earth's surface, the actual distance between a river and a pond is 100 km. Is it possible to draw a map which is large enough to show that much distance? No, it is not possible, because 100 km is a huge distance. To avoid this problem, a reduced distance, that is, 1 centimeter, is used on a map to represent the same 100 kilometer distance. Then, the scale of the map is 1 centimeter is to 100 kilometer. The easiest way to show the scale is by a linear scale, which can be shown as a line with distances marked on it. In the given linear scale, each division on the scale measures 1 centimeter, but on the ground, this 1 centimeter is actually equal to 100 kilometer. Thus, the scale shows 1 centimeter is to 100 kilometer. Although the maps are really useful to us, but still there are some limitations of maps, like maps being two-dimensional cannot show the curved surface of the earth accurately. This may sometimes lead to an error in the map. As we already know, we use standard symbols, signs, colors, and legends on the map. To understand this language as used in a map, we first need to learn them. Let's recall the topic. Recap. A map is a drawing of the whole or a part of the geographical area of the Earth's surface on a flat piece of paper. An accurate map has true directions, shape of land, water bodies, and accurate areas. Types of maps are physical maps, political maps, road maps, climate maps. Physical maps display physical features like mountains, plateaus, rivers, lakes, oceans, etc. Political maps display the political boundaries of different countries, their capitals along with other states and places in that country. Road maps display major roads, highways, airports, cities, etc., giving people the correct directions while driving. They also help people to plan road trips. Climate maps provide general information regarding the climate and rainfall of an area. Standard colors which are used in maps are blue denotes water bodies, brown denotes hills and mountains, green denotes green grasslands and plains, yellow denotes the plateaus. Legends or keys, directions and scale are all languages of a map.
Students, I hope that you have gone through the animation of extra marks. Now, let's discuss what do you know now. Maps are much more convenient to use than globes. Different types of maps are drawn to study different things. Usually, maps are drawn with north at the top. A map is drawn to a fixed scale. The scale of a map is the ratio between distance shown on the map and the actual distance on the ground. Standard colors on a map are used for different features. Standard symbols make understanding of maps easier. So students, now we have come towards the end of the session. For concluding this online session, I would like to ask you to complete the works assigned to you along with the video. Thank you students. Stay home, stay safe and take care.